Welcome to another episode from the Echoes of Unknown. This is Ryan again, and I wish you are enjoying our episode. Drop us your ideas and if you wish us to highlight any of the history unsolved mysteries. March 13th, 2017. A day that began like any other. Two young girls, Libby German and Abby Williams, set off on a hike along the Delphi Historic Trail in Indiana. They were simply enjoying a day in nature, unaware that their lives would soon be shattered, and the lives of their families forever altered. By the end of the afternoon, they would be gone. And the world would be left wondering, who was responsible for their deaths? But there was something strange, something chilling, about this case from the very beginning. There was evidence, tangible, haunting evidence, that pointed to a killer. But the trail was far from clear. What followed was a mystery that would remain unsolved for years, and a case that would haunt a small town forever. The girls were last seen near a bridge, a place that would become infamous in the years to come. A bridge that stands as a silent witness to the unspeakable. As they crossed it, they took a photo, perhaps to capture the beauty of their surroundings. But in doing so, they unknowingly left behind a trace that would prove to be vital in the investigation. Libby German, resourceful and brave, had the presence of mind to take a short video of a man who approached them on the trail. He appeared in the background, walking towards them, his features barely distinguishable. But what was clear was his voice, gravelly, low, and unmistakable. The words he spoke would later be immortalized in one of the most chilling pieces of audio ever captured in a murder investigation. Down the hill. 3 words. Just 3 words, and yet, they would carry the weight of an entire case, a case that would unravel in ways no one could have predicted. Who was this man? What did he want? And most chilling of all, was he still out there? As the day wore on and the hours passed, the girls did not return home. Their families grew frantic, searching the trails, calling their names into the gathering darkness. But it was only when their bodies were discovered the following day, hidden in the woods not far from the bridge, that the true horror of what had happened became clear. The investigation began almost immediately, and it didn't take long for the authorities to piece together some key details. Libby's phone, for instance. It was found in her pocket, still recording. That video, that single moment of terror, became the focal point of the investigation. The man in the video, his face obscured, his actions deliberate, was the key to understanding what had happened. But despite the growing evidence, the police faced an impossible task. The man in the video was a mystery. His identity, a ghost. And then there was the photo, the one Libby had snapped before the encounter. It was blurry, but in the background, something was clear, a man, dressed in a blue jacket and jeans, walking towards the girls, his face hidden by the shadow of his hood. From that moment on, the search for the guy on the trail became the obsession of everyone in Delphi. The police issued a sketch, a description, a man, approximately 5 feet 6 inches, between the ages of 18 and 40. But it wasn't enough. The community was left to wonder, was he someone they knew? Someone they'd seen before? Or was he a complete stranger, lurking in the shadows, watching and waiting for the perfect moment? As the investigation dragged on, the whispers began. The speculation, the theories, the rumors. The police were being tight-lipped, withholding information, and the public's frustration grew. There was talk of a local suspect, someone with a history, a man who had crossed paths with the girls. But nothing was certain. No arrest, no clear answers. But then, the breakthrough came from an unexpected source. It wasn't a witness, or a tip from the community. No, it was the voice in the video. That voice. The recording of those 3 simple words. Down the hill. They became a mantra, a haunting refrain that investigators would replay over and over again in the hope of unlocking the mystery. Down the hill. Was it an order? A command? Or was it a subtle suggestion? The uncertainty of those words only added to the terror. And as time went on, the police released more details, more sketches, more audio. They were searching for any clue, anything that would help them finally identify this man. And then, almost 4 years later, something extraordinary happened. A break in the case, a lead so unexpected, it would send shockwaves through the entire investigation. A new suspect emerged. A man who had been living in the shadows, a man with a troubled past and a connection to the area. His name was soon released to the public, and the world was left to wonder, could this be the man who had been hiding in plain sight all along? Could he be the one responsible for the deaths of 2 innocent girls? But even as authorities closed in, the truth remained elusive. The investigation dragged on, and the public waited with bated breath for justice. The case of the Delphi murders had become more than just a tragedy, it had become a symbol of the chilling unknown, of a killer who had slipped through the cracks for far too long. As we look back on this case, it's hard not to feel the weight of the questions that remain unanswered. Who was this man? Why did he target Libby and Abby? What happened on that fateful day in 2017? And most importantly, when will justice finally be served? Libby and Abby's story is not just a mystery. It's a tragedy. It's a reminder of the fragility of life, of the darkness that can lurk in even the most peaceful places. And it's a call to never forget the victims, the 2 girls whose lives were stolen too soon. We may not know who the killer is yet, but we owe it to them to keep searching. To keep asking the hard questions. To keep their memory alive. This is the Delphi Murders, the case of the guys on the trail. And as long as there are questions, as long as the answers remain out of reach, we will continue to ask. We will continue to seek the truth. For Libby. For Abby. For all the lost souls whose stories have yet to be told. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, keep the mystery alive.